Namaste, crypto aficionados and my fellow capitalists. I hope you guys are doing great. And I'm back again, and I'm gonna share with you a Degenplay small cap coin that I think will do well. Of course, I'm invested in it, and I just want to talk about 1984, right? And it's a community coin. It's a meme coin, and it is something it's similar to like cult DAO. It's similar to anarchy. It's like where it's very anti authoritarianism, right? So as you know, this whole premise of 1984, right? If you don't know, I'll just explain it to you. Is a story about how the world becomes a dystopia, and that totalitarian government is ruling, right, with with authoritarianism. Okay, so they are very. So what happens in that kind of world is like communist. It's actually worse than communist. It's like fascist, right? Where if you don't think along their lines, it is a crime. It's a thought crime. So if you hear things like thought crime, all these are from that book itself, 1984. The words like Orwellian nightmare, these are the words from that book, 1984. That was written way back when in 1948. That book was written in 48, and it was about how this guy thinks how 1984 will be a world where it's dystopia, where Big Brother, Big Brother is watching you, everything, like how you go everywhere, there's cameras everywhere, and how it ties in to the CBDCs. The CBDCs will monitor whatever you spend. So there is no freedom. So basically, it's taking the freedoms away. So what we are seeing now in this world is this. They want authoritarianism. They want the Big Brother. They want to know what everything, where you do, where you work, what you do, where you spend your money on, who you're with, right? They want to know everything, what you buy, So that's what they want you to do, to listen to them and don't question them. WEF and Klaus Schwab, and they want us to follow their 2030 agenda. They want to eat bugs. They want us to eat bugs. They don't want us to drive cars. So these are all real, and we must be awakened. Because if you're going to be stupid and dumb and just follow the crowd and think that whatever I see on the TV is real, and whatever the news that mainstream media is showing me is real, then you are in a world of hurt. So this is what cryptocurrency gives you. This is what financial freedom gives you. The power to live free. So that's why I'm trying to do this. I mean, I don't get anything. I'm not selling anything. I mean, I don't make money out of you, right? There's nothing for me to sell. I don't say, oh, join my trading group and all that. There's no such thing. But I want you guys to be free. So I try to bring I try to bring the projects that I think will do well. Of course, it's not all the projects do well. Okay, so you got to be smart. You got to be, you got to be vigilant. You got to do your due diligence. Okay, so 1984. Let's talk about what this is, as in the details of it. Is standing at currently at 94k market cap, right? The price is 0.01, so it's about a cent, right? It's about 1 cent right now. The supply is about 8 million. Okay, and the thing about it is that it is a token. It's a community token, right? It's a meme token. Okay, it's a meme token, right? So what they want to do is they want to have like this kind of ministry of truth and all that. It comes from that book. So they're just following that book, but they're reversing it. So what if instead of a ministry of truth that wants you to believe whatever they say, or whatever they say holds true and not you, whatever you say. So they are trying to have their own ministry of truth, right? What is to call out the totalitarianism, right? The communism, the fascism. Okay, they want to have a ministry of love, which is for donation. Okay, that's their sub-DAO, and they want to have a ministry of plenty. They want to have an investment sub-DAO. Okay, so they want to give back to society. They want to, invest in good projects, right, that are not, linked to these totalitarian and centralization, right? Because crypto is all about decentralization. Okay, so in their roadmap, they have the website. This is the website. This is the new website that I already showed you. And there'll be a Ministry of Truth DAO, which is a DAO for sharing Web 3.0 sarcasm and pointing out the authoritarian around us. It's important. You have to point it out. Our goal is to fight for freedom and the truth for our community. This is what happens if you point it out, if you show it to the world, then that's how the world gets awakened. Okay? So, community airdrops, we are raffling community airdrops for early holders. Holders with airdrops will be rewarded with further gifts in the future. Okay. Now, Ministry of Love and Ministry of Plenty, so set up a donation and investment DAO for crypto projects that seeks openness, that seeks security. That is very important, right? We support the decentralization. Okay. Holders with more than 3 foxes. This is a special NFTs for holders. Holders with more than 3 foxes will receive special NFT and special merchandise. And then their stage 2 is Animal Farm. So Animal Farm is another book by George Orwell, the guy who wrote 1984. That's another book. So that we don't know what it is because it says check for updates, and it's still in the infancy stage. So as you come here, they point out to you like, look, 2022 is the Sri Lanka crisis. Why it happened, right? Because of corruption, nothing else. It happened because of total corruption. Okay, and then the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal, Edward Snowden, who is a proponent of decentralization and anti-Big Brother, so this is what Edward Snowden is. And the Lehman Brothers global financial crisis, which as many of us know, that it was brought upon through mismanagement, right? So this is what it is, and what I like about it is that if you look at the token right now, right, it has locked the liquidity for 30 days, and the liquidity is burnt, right? It's burnt. This I'll confirm with you whether it's burned or is it locked for 30 days. And the contract is renounced, right? Is renounced. So there's a tax, which is a buy fee is about 4% and a sell fee is about 4.4%. And the contract is verified, and it does not have a single owner that has a lot, that has so much of supply when it was created. Of course, now Joe Grower, 420, I don't know whether you know him, he's one of the biggest holders in Suka. So he has come in, he just came in and he bought more of 1984. So people are getting to know about it now. They're starting to get to know about 1984. That's why I'm bringing it out there for you to take a look at it. I'm not asking you to buy it. I'm asking you to take a look at it. If you think it makes sense for you to buy it, then you can buy it. And also, it might be a good idea for you to see when to go in. I cannot tell you when exactly when to go in and buy it, because sometimes I also buy the top, right? We don't know how far it could go, but we would not. It's better not to buy the top. It is better to wait and to see if there's, once the selling is done, try to get the bottom and then ride the next wave. So that is up to you, and if you can't do it, then my advice would be to dollar cost average, to DCA. So DCAing is one of the best ways to accumulate your position if you think the coin is going to do well in the future. Authoritarianism is still happening around us. Those who claim to be decentralized are centralized. Okay, while technology has rapidly advanced, humanity has not. 1984 represents a movement of freedom and openness. Okay, so 1984 DAO, is a place for people to realize the power of openness and freedom, to fight and protect people whenever suppression happens. Understand what totalitarianism and authoritarianism are. I think this is very important, because I think of myself as red pilled, right? So I think it's very important for people to be awakened and to see what is happening around the world. It is not what the papers are telling you. It is not what the news are relaying to you. You got to look at the big picture and you got to see what's at stake down here. So as you are seeing right now, people, the push for communism is real. If you look at superpowers like US, right, they have a social they have got politicians who are talking about bringing socialism to the country, like people like AOC and all that, so they want to bring socialism. They want their cities to be sanctuary cities, to let illegal immigrants come in. They want to dilute, right, the racial demographics. And this is not a good thing. This is not a good intention that they have, right? It's not a good intention, because if it's a good intention, you would want to do it the proper way, where you account for each and every migrant that is coming in. But this is not so. So leave that aside, So authoritarianism, I'm talking about the social credit system that is coming to you, whether you like it or not. So things like COVID is just a Trojan horse. Things like the Paris Agreement, the Climate Accord, that's just a Trojan horse. What they want is to be able to control your spending and to know what you are doing and at all times. So the spending part, so the financial part, they are going to do it with CBDCs. Once they start issuing the CBDCs, they will know exactly where your money goes. And it's not right to say that, oh no, I have nothing to hide. That is the most stupidest thing, in my opinion, for anybody to say. It's okay, I got nothing to hide. No, it's your privacy and you are entitled to that. Why give it up to somebody who can sell it off and who knows too much about you? That is not right. So you have to think about that. And is communism or is socialism the way? They did an experiment. I don't know which college. They did an experiment. It was Berkeley or something, right? So the students was telling their teacher like, hey, let's do socialism, let's do communism, so everybody gets equal marks. That's the best way, and they said that socialism works, so that there's no rich and there's no poor, So she said, okay, since you think that socialism works and there's no rich, no poor, everybody gets the same marks or the same amount of money, let's do an experiment. I will average out all your marks. Okay, I will average, all of you will get an average of all the whole class, whatever they score in a test, I will average out. That's the grade everybody will get. So they said, okay. So the first test, the average was B. So those who used to get A, they were a bit upset, why I'm getting a B, and those who get a C and an F, they were happy. I don't do anything and I get a B. So the next test that happened, they averaged out the scores, everybody got a C. Okay, and then they were scared. They were like, those guys who used to, get A now, they said, why should I study, right? So they studied less harder, and those who got B, they said, I'm not going to study at all, why should I study, So there was a decline, and the next following test, everybody got an F, because they realized that no matter what I do, I don't have to worry. I will get the average out. But as it goes on, when people realize, when people have it too easy, and when people realize that there's no reward, there's no incentivization, ultimately it leads to the demise of the society. So, and not only that, the whole group were bickering and constantly fighting among each other. So this is what communism does to you. So when you see in the media this kind of articles, okay, this is by Forbes, one of the very established media agencies, right? They are saying world needs equivalent of a pandemic lockdown every 2 years to meet Paris carbon emission goals. So they're talking about lockdowns. I mean, the world cannot have another lockdown. Because if you have another lockdown, the poor people are going to have a hard time. Okay, they are going to be in a world of hell because these guys are daily rated. They earn money every day. They are paid daily. They are paid by the hour. And they are paid money on that same day, so they need that money. So if you are going to lock down again, it is going to be a disaster. And then what they will probably want to do, they will probably want to talk about universal basic income. Like I mentioned, everybody get the same amount of money. And then when there's no reward, when the reward is not there is no incentive for you to work. And when there's no incentive for you to work, you slowly stop working, and then any society degrades and ultimately dies off. Okay, so this is what I want you to think about, and I think that cryptocurrency is here to help us. So guys, let me know what you think about this video, and let me know what gems you are looking at so that I can also take a look at it. Okay guys, so I just want to say thank you and namaste.